Hello everybody, I'm so glad to have you here, and today I would like to share with you a really cool feature from PHP, which is the multiple exception handling. So actually, since PHP 7.1, we can handle multiple exceptions thanks to the pipe character. So let's create a new file. We will call it just, let's say person. It will be a class. And here I will do class person, for instance. And I will have a public function called greeting, for instance. I will use the type declarations from PHP 7. So it will be a string name, and I will set it as street. So we'll do declare, and here it will be street types equals 1, and normally it's at least street. No, please, no. So that's is because we want to have it strict and we don't want PHP to cast it. So here greeting, I will have I will do if, or actually I will allow to have null. So by default it will be like this, and if is no. I'm thinking the way we'll do it, because we'll have to throw some exceptions. So, oh yes, I have an idea. So actually, it will validate our name as well. So we'll have another function, which will be private. And that function will be validate name, for instance. Again, it will be value, which is a name, and there we'll do return. We check if the length of the name is higher than 2. I mean, longer than 2 and less than probably less than 10. So it has to be, or 20. It has to be at least 2 characters long and not more than 20. So so we check the name, if this validates name, and here we have the name, then if this is okay, obviously we say return hello name. Otherwise, it will be, and as you can see here, I used the double quote. It's because I use a variable. If I use the single quote, the variable won't be interpreted. So that's why I have to use the double quote here. Otherwise, I could use the concatenation operator. I could do this exactly like that. So now with the concatenation operator, that's fine too. And if obviously if it's not valid, we will throw an exception, because here we already use the return statement. This part, if it's not valid, that part won't be executed, and we can throw directly an exception. We can do invalid argument exception from PHP. So we can just import that to one. Oh no, we don't have a namespace, so that's fine. And here I will do name is invalid. So here we have one exception. That's nice, but because we are going to use the multiple, we are going to use the pipe character to allow multiple exceptions when we handle with a catch keyword. So let's already, so that's person file. Now I will have a index.php here, and here I will do require person.php, yes, and then I will have a try block. Here it will be person equals new person, obviously, and then person. Oh, you know what? I will have the name here actually, Pierre. That makes more sense. So that will be in the constructor, the check. Here we'll have the constructor. Yes, it probably makes more sense to have this here, but we won't have a return in the constructor. So because we just have the name, if this is not valid, let's say, okay, we can do like this. Beautiful. And then here we can do greeting. So here we have the name. So and there greeting, and we'll have moment of the day. So it will be morning, afternoon, or evening. Moment. Yeah, moment, time maybe. Yeah, let's see. So here it will be well, it's actually, this class is only to show you how to handle multiple exceptions. So it's not about writing clean code or a good class. So we will do just if time is morning. Obviously, ideally, the code will have to be refactored, but here just for the example, so it will be good morning. If time is afternoon, we can just actually have some constant. So morning equals morning here. Then private constant is available since PHP 7.1. Yes, 0.1. So afternoon. So the same actually as the pipe character to handle multiple exceptions. Afternoon, beautiful, and then private const. And here it will be, I was just checking for the spelling if it was correct, evening. And here, evening. Beautiful. So here we can just do if this is morning, or if it's afternoon, and curly bracket. So if, beautiful, and then if time is evening, or some, and then we'll do here to be good afternoon, and then it will be good evening name. Beautiful. Obviously you can use a concatenation operator, or just oh yes, I have, oh yeah, 1 second, or just here with a double quote. That's the same. And actually I forgot to, I will add it here, I forgot to have the property name. So it will be a string here. That's also since PHP 7. String, oh, actually no, PHP 7.2, I think, 7.4, sorry, to have types for properties in a class. So then I will do this name equals name, and here we can use it. Beautiful. So we'll do like this. Again, this, and here. Here, obviously, because we use double quote, we have to do like that. Beautiful. And we need to wrap it with curly brackets. So otherwise the execution, I mean the way PHP reads it will be, it will give a error. So this one, and If not, we'll also throw, we can throw another exception. So it will be runtime, let's do runtime exception, and again it will be invalid time. I mean invalid moment of the day. Beautiful. So we have two exceptions, so that's perfect. So let's see, let's try it. So person, and then here we'll have greeting, and I will have morning, for instance. So this one shouldn't give us any exception. However, before we had to do, so remember we have two exceptions. So we had to catch first this exception, and then we would have to catch the second exception, which is runtime for in our case. And so we would have to show, like, I don't know, a message or something else, or maybe a for error, like echo, or maybe just to show the message error. So the message is actually this one. Here it has to be invalid. Perfect. So the message will be like this, get message, and then it would have been the same for there. So that's the normal way we used to do before PHP 7.1. Let's run it and let's see. So we'll start my PHP server, the inbuilt PHP server, only for development purposes. And I will do port 8080. Awesome. So I can go there and let's see what we have. I have nothing because indeed I don't echo. I have to echo that one. So good morning, Pierre. So it works. However, if I change this, I should receive the exception here. And if I change the name to something obviously less than 2 characters long, the length is not valid. So if I have a length longer than 2, but maybe more than 20, because we said that it cannot be more than 20. If we go here, you see. So let's see now, and I have the same. So I will go back to Pierre. I have nothing, but with PHP 7.1, I can do that in a single catch actually, which is really handy. So I will just use the pipe character, and then I will use the other exception name, and I can get rid of this. So as you can see, in this single catch statement, I have this one and this one, and because the result inside the message I want to echo is the same, so it's pointless to have, this is longer. So we just have this. Now let's try. Oops, sorry, that's my video. Let's try. Good morning, Pierre. Now let's try to throw an exception by doing just this, and this invalid. And now let's try to execute this one with the morning. So if I do, I will just replace again. It's again invalid as well, so it works with PHP 7.1. It's really nice. I will just show you actually something else you can do. This is nothing to do about the nice way you can catch multiple exceptions, but it's just to make these conditions a little bit smaller. I said that I won't speak too much about clean code, but here I will just want to show you something quite nice. We can use in array, and so in array, if you check in the documentation, you need actually the needle, so the needle will be the time, and then we need an array. So this is to avoid to have a long conditions. I mean, if, or even worse with a switch statement, I think it's even harder to read. So I will have actually an array here. So I will have a private constant array, and it will be moment or valid moment, valid day moment. And here I will do self. I will call the different constant, self morning, self afternoon, and then self evening. Actually, now for me, it's the evening. It's getting dark, so we'll just turn on the light. Okay, so now it's a little bit better. Beautiful. And so that's done. This is an array. And this array, I will call it here self. Beautiful. And obviously, if it's not valid, what do I do? So this will return false if it's not valid because it returns a boolean if in the array it's found or not. So if in time it doesn't find any of the index, I mean of the values I mentioned here. So if it doesn't find morning, afternoon, or evening from that array, in array we return false. So I will do if if it's not valid, I will give the exception. Otherwise, what can we do? I can just do return the time. So it could be, obviously the time is lowercase. So how can I have it uppercase? Well, I will do UC first. So UC first, what it does, it makes the string first character uppercase. So that's perfect for us. So time, the variable time, and then I will have simply the name. So morning, or I can do actually good, and then concatenation operator, and then the time. So good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. And finally, it will be, actually, I don't need to do uppercase anymore because it's good. I mean, we start by good. And then I will just call the name. So just here, the name. And that's it. You see, it's much shorter, so it's better. I can also have it returns a string. So I can add a type return decoration. So again, it's valid since PHP 7. So I have a return type decoration, and here I can add a boolean, and that's it. And here, because it's a constructor, it doesn't return anything. So now let's try it, and let's do it. Let's refresh the page. It works apparently. We just change the message, invalid moment of the day. I can do this. Is an invalid. Perfect. So I say time is a D is, so I can even do just like this. I can use printf. So printf is really handy. It's just to replace a special character. So we do like this. Percent %s. S is for a string. It's an invalid moment of the day, and then here I will mention time. Beautiful. So yes, printf, if you are not familiar, what it does, it will, you give a format in a string and it will replace by the value here. So now we can refresh it. I will just do a double quote here. Perfect. D is an invalid. Okay. Perfect. So we know this is an invalid moment of the day. Now if I mention morning, it works. Amazing. However, you see, I don't have a space here. So because I didn't mention here, so here I have to just add a space. Now I can try again, and yes, it works. It's amazing. I could also add an emoji here, depending on the moment of the day. So if it's morning, I add a sun. If it's evening, I add another character. You could do that for an improvement. If you like to play with PHP, yes, sure, you can do that. And you see, it's really nice. It's really short. And I really like to use the nice way to handle multiple exceptions. When we throw an exception, we can catch multiple ones in one line. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I wish you all the best and have a lot of fun coding with PHP. See you very soon. Ciao.